Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Welcome to the maths class. I hope you are all doing well and enjoying your vacations. Dear students, today we will be learning the chapter number 11 of your textbook, that is points, lines and angles. Students, this is the basic chapter of geometry and we will be starting with the basic building blocks of geometry. The first one is point. What is the point? A point is a simple dot made by a sharp pencil. Here it is a simple dot. I have made it with my pen. So this dot is actually named as a point. What does this point mean? This point actually shows us the exact location of something. It is always represented as a dot and it's named using a capital letter. Suppose this dot can be named as point A, B, X, Y, etc. Boys, this point has no length, no width and no thickness. That is, this point is dimensionless. Dimensionless matlab no dimensions. It has no dimensions. It has no dimensions, no length, no width or no thickness. Got it, boys? Moving to the next. The next thing is line. A line is a straight path that goes on endlessly in both directions. Dear students, you can see here, you can observe the figure and see. This is the line. It is having two arrowheads. It's having two arrowheads. What does these arrowheads mean? It means that this line can be extended in both the directions easily. It is so, boys, as it can be extended in both the directions, can we say that this line has no fixed length or no definite length? No definite length. As this line is having no definite length, so we can say that we cannot measure this line segment. We cannot measure this line segment. It means we cannot measure this line. Why? Because this line can be extended in both the directions. It has no fixed length, so we cannot measure this line. Now, I'll show you the representation of this line. How can we represent a line? As you can observe from the figure that this line is named as C and D. So we can represent it as line CD, line DC, or CD with a small line over it, or DC with a small line over it. Got it, boys? So, what you have to learn, what you have to remember, that this line is having no starting point, no end point. It can be extended in both the directions, so it doesn't have a fixed length. And as it is not having any fixed length, we cannot measure this line. Got it, boys? Moving to the next. Now here it is line segment. Boys, observe the given figure carefully and see. There are 2 points. One is P, another is Q. Actually, this is the line segment. The line segment is actually the distance between 2 fixed points. 2 fixed points. It is a straight path, rather. We can say it is a straight path between 2 points. between 2 points. Got it? As you can see from the figure, this line segment is having both the starting point as well as the end point. Observe the figure carefully and see there is no arrowhead. No arrowhead is there. So as there is no arrowhead there, we cannot extend the given line. We cannot extend the line segment. Got it, boys? So we cannot extend the line segment. If we cannot extend it, what can we say? We can say that it has a fixed length. It has a fixed length. So boys, now how can we represent this line segment? As it's named as P and Q, I'll show you how can we represent this line segment P and Q. Its representation can be like this. P, Q with a small line segment over it, or we can write it as Q, P with a small line segment over it. Got it, boys? So, line segment is having two points, one starting point and one end point. There is a fixed length. So, if it is having a fixed length, we can measure this line segment. We can measure it. How can we measure it? Using a ruler, which you call as scale. Got it, boys? Is it clear? Moving to the next. The next is ray. Okay, boys? We have done line and line segment. Now moving to the ray. What a ray is? Observe the given figure, boys, and see. This is the figure of a ray. What can you observe from this figure? You can observe that this ray is having a starting point, that is M, and it is going through N. And there is one arrowhead there. So by this arrowhead, we can conclude that this ray can be extended. It can be extended, but only in one direction. Only in one direction. Got it, boys? समझ आ रहा है बेटा? So ये रे जो है ये स्टार्ट तो हो रही है किसी पॉइंट से, पॉइंट M से, एंड एंड में हो रही है बिकॉज एंड पे देयर इज एन एरो हेड. और इस एरो हेड की वजह से आपको पता चल जाएगा दैट वी कैन एक्सटेंड दिस लाइन बट ओनली फ्रॉम द साइड वेयर इट इज हैविंग एन एरो हेड. So dear students, can you tell me, can we measure this ray? No, we cannot measure this ray. Why? Because it has no fixed length. No fixed length or no definite length. Because we can extend it from one direction. So its length is not fixed. As its length is not fixed, we cannot measure it. We cannot measure a ray. Got it, boys? Example is here. The ray Mn starts at M and goes through N. It doesn't stop there. It starts from N, it goes through N, and we can extend it in one direction. So it's having no fixed length and we cannot measure this ray. Got it, boys? Very nice. Moving to the next. Relationship between lines and points. Boys, again observe the figure carefully and see there are many lines and these many lines are passing through a same point. They are crossing each other at a same point and the point is B. You can easily see that many lines are passing through a point, same point, that is point B. Suppose I am making a line A, B, C, D and E, F here. It is AB. Here it is A. Here it is B. Again, it is C. And here it is D. Then it is E. And here it is F. You can see these three lines A, B, C, D and E, F are passing through a same point, are crossing each other through a same point at a same point. Let's mark this point as X. So these lines that pass through the same point, these are called concurrent lines. These are called concurrent lines. So in simple words, you can say concurrent lines are those lines, many lines that can pass through a same point. Got it, boys? It's very easy to understand. Just go through the figure and you will get to know what concurrent lines are. Now the next. Next is collinear points. Look here, boys. I have made it easy for you by providing the figure for each definition. See, collinear points are three or more points that lie on the same line are called collinear points. कोलिनियर पॉइंट्स ऐसे पॉइंट्स को बोलते हैं जो दो या दो से ज्यादा तीन पॉइंट्स, चार पॉइंट्स जब एक ही लाइन पे लाई करेंगे, those are called collinear points. For example, here in the figure you can see point P, Q and R lie on the same line. So we can say that P, Q and R are collinear points. These are collinear points. Got it, boys? In simple words, you can say three or more points that lie on a straight line are called collinear points. Is it clear? Very nice. The next one is non-collinear points. It is the opposite of collinear point. Okay? That means we can say two or three or more than 3 points when they do not lie on the same plane or same line are called non-collinear points. Observe the figure here. Point L and M are in the same line, but N is not on that line. Can you see? Yes, N is not and doesn't lie on the same line. So we can say that point L, M and N are non-collinear points. Non-collinear points. Got it, beta? Collinear में क्या होता है? The points lie on a same line, but in non-collinear, the points doesn't lie on the same line. Here only one point is not lying on the line. So we can say L, M and N are not collinear. They are non-collinear. They are non-collinear. Got it? Moving to the next. Next is intersecting lines. What are intersecting lines? When two or more lines cross each other, they are called intersecting lines. Look here, beta. You can see from the figure, line AB and line CD are crossing each other and they are meeting at point P. At point P. Such lines are called intersecting lines. Intersecting lines. And the point at which these two lines are meeting, that is point P, it's called point of intersection. Point of intersection. Once again, I will repeat. Two or more lines cross each other at point P. Suppose here it's at point P. We can say that this point P, where these two lines are meeting, this P is called the intersecting point or point of intersection. You can also say it as, name it as intersecting point or point of intersection. It's one and the same thing. Okay, boys, suppose I am drawing a line here, LM and MM. Here it is L and here it is M. Then here it is LM N and here it is O. Let me tell you, these two lines are meeting at this point and this point is Y. So what is Y? Y is the point of intersection, or we can say Y is the intersection point. Intersection point of these two lines. Got it? Is it clear to you? I hope so. Moving to the next. Now, moving to the next, that is angle. That is angle. Boys, what is an angle? Again, go through the diagram and see the figure carefully. See, an angle is formed when two rays or two sides of a shape meet. We can say if two rays, suppose here it is ray AB and this is ray AC. You can see these two rays are meeting at a point. When two rays meet at a common point, an angle is formed. An angle is formed. So, the angle is the distance between these two lines, these two arms. Actually, what are these rays called? These rays are called arms. इसको भी arm बोलेंगे, इसको भी. And the point where these two arms are meeting, it is called vertex. It is called vertex. Let me repeat it, boys. When two rays are meeting at a single point, at a same point, they form an angle. These two rays are called arms, and the distance between these two rays is regarded as an angle. The point at which the two rays are meeting, it is called the vertex. It is called the vertex. Got it, boys? Let me give you an example. Suppose I am writing here a letter V. See, this is an arm. This is also an arm. This is the vertex. And here it forms an angle. Got it? So, we can say angle is the distance between these two arms. Got it, beta? Is this thing clear? Very nice. So, coming to the figure here, you can see here QR is a ray. Again, QP is also a ray. Both these rays are meeting at point Q. So, this Q is its vertex. These QR and QP are the arms. And here, the distance between these two arms is the angle. Got it, beta? Is this thing clear? Nice. We'll move to the next. Now, the next point is naming an angle. अभी तो मैंने आपको समझाया एंगल होता क्या है. But अब अगर हमें देखना है हम इस एंगल का नाम कैसे दें? How can we name it? So, you can see an angle is named using 3 letters. हमेशा जब भी आप एंगल का नाम लिखोगे, आप 3 letters use करोगे. You can use 3 letters. And every time the middle letter is always the vertex. That means ये जो vertex होता है हमारा, it should always be in the center while writing the name of this angle. Suppose here we are again having RQ and PQ, or QR and QP. QR and QP. These are the arms of the given angle that I have already mentioned here. So what is the vertex here? The vertex is Q. Vertex is Q. As I have already told you here that the vertex should be the middle letter. It should be the middle letter while naming the angle. So how can we name this angle? We can name it as angle R Q P, or we can also name it as angle P Q R. Look here boys, I have kept this Q in middle. In both the conditions, I have kept the Q in middle. Why? Because Q is the vertex. And I have already told you that the vertex should be always at the center. It should be the middle letter while writing the name of an angle. While naming an angle, remember these things that you have to use 3 letters. Okay? But what should you keep in mind? That the middle letter should be the vertex. Should be the vertex. Let me explain it with one more example here. Suppose I am drawing an angle here. It's named as X, Y, and Z. Got it? X, Y, and Z. How can we name this angle now? First of all, tell me, which are the arms here? X and Y is one arm, and Y and Z is another arm. So these are the arms. And which is the vertex? Y. Here, Y is the vertex. Got it, boys? So while naming the angle, how can I name it? I have to keep one thing in mind. I have to use 3 letters and I have to place the vertex at the center, in the middle. So I can name it as angle X, Y, Z, or angle Z, Y, X. You can see in both the conditions, I have kept this Y at the center because this Y is the vertex. Got it? Okay. Moving to the next. Now, boys, let's come to the next point, that is measuring angles. As I have already told you what an angle is, how can we name an angle? Now we need to know how can we measure an angle. An angle is always measured in degrees, like this. Small circle. It's called degree. It's called degree. So we can measure the angle as 10 degree, 20 degree, 15 degree. We can read it as such: 15 degree, 20 degree, 30 degree. Got it, boys? So here a measurement like 15 degree is read as 15 degrees. Okay, boys? So this angle can be measured using a protractor. Here is the protractor. It is the protractor. So first of all, you need to know some points regarding the protractor. The first point is, this protractor is actually, it's in your geometry box. It's a semicircle, you can say, and it has 2 readings. The first reading starts from right to left, starting from 0 to 180. Okay? Right to left, 0 to 180. The next is left to right. That is also 0 to 180. Got it? So, it is having 2 readings. The outer reading is called the outer scale and the inner reading is called the inner scale. Here it is having a small line that is called the center point. That is called the center point. And the line that is here, it is called the baseline arm, or we can simply say it as we can simply name it as a baseline, So while measuring an angle, we have to keep these things in mind: the center point, the outer scale and the inner scale, and the baseline. Got it, boys? Now I'll show you how to use a protractor. As you can see from the figure, I have made an angle. like this. Here it is A, here it is B, and here it is C. You can see that this angle, first of all, we have to put the vertex. जो vertex हमारा होता है, we have to put it at the center point. Here, protector का center point जो होता है, वहां पे आपको ये vertex जो है place करना पड़ता है, vertex of the angle. So place the protector, place the center point of the protector on the vertex of the angle here. Got it? Now place the baseline. जो आपकी प्रोडक्टर की बेसलाइन होती है वो आपको इस बेसलाइन के साथ रखनी होती है बराबर. Got it? So what you have to read? You have to read the reading at this line here at the A. Got it, boys? But you can see there are two readings. Don't get confused which reading you have to take. You have to, while using the protector, make one thing clear. Keep this thing in mind that if the baseline is in right direction, baseline. If the baseline is in right direction, you have to use the inner reading, inner scale. You can say inner scale or inner reading. But if the baseline it is in the left direction, then you have to use in the left direction, you have to use the outer scale or outer reading. Please, students, don't get confused while measuring an angle. You can see there are two readings. You will only see the direction of the baseline. If the direction of the baseline is right, you have to use the inner scale. And if the direction of the baseline is left, you have to use the outer scale. Now, dear students, you can see, as I have told you, we have to see the baseline. Here, the baseline lies in the right direction. So, which scale I have to use? I have to use the inner scale. That means this scale we have to use. Now, you can see this ray AB, it lies in between 40 and 50. Don't get confused. You have to use the inner scale. And it's between 40 and 50. So we can say this angle ABC, angle AB and C is equal to 45 degree, as it is in between 40 and 50. So it is 45 degree. If it lies exactly at 40 or 50, we can say angle ABC is equal to 40 degree और एंगल ABC इज इक्वल 50 डिग्री. जहां पे भी आपकी ये लाइन लाई करेगी, अकॉर्डिंगली आप एंगल को वैसे ही मेजर करके लिखोगे. गॉट इट बॉयज? इज इट क्लियर? चलिए बेटा, लेट्स मूव टू टाइप्स ऑफ एंगल्स. एज the angle is already done, measuring of angle is done, naming of angle is done. Now let's move to the types of angles. The first angle here is right angle. Here it is right angle. And an angle that measures exactly 90 degree. वो एंगल जिसका मेजरमेंट प्रोटेक्टर पे बराबर 90 डिग्री होगा, exact 90 degree. That angle is called as right angle. That angle is called as right angle. As you can see the figure here, it is a right angle. When you place a protector here, you can see this ray lies at, this point lies at 90 degree. So here it is a right angle. I will give you an example. Suppose you are writing the alphabet L. Right? आप देखो, it is a right angle. Again, if we see a clock at 9 o'clock जब होते हैं क्लॉक में है, hands of the clock make, see, nine o'clock. Here the hands of the clock are making a 90 degree angle. See here boys, hands of the clock these are making 90-degree angle. So there are many examples where you can see in real life also that there is a right angle. Again, if you make a square, see here it is right angle, here it is right angle, here it is right angle, and here it is right angle. So right angle can be in this way, it can be in this way, it can be like this. So all of the figures here are right angles. So what is a right angle? It is an angle that measures exactly 90, neither less than 90 nor greater than 90. It measures exactly 90. Moving to the next type of angle is acute angle. What is an acute angle? An acute angle is an angle that measures greater than 0 but less than 90. Greater than 0 means greater than 0. That means it can be 1, 2, up to 89. Because it should be less than 90. It cannot be 90 because 90 is a right angle. So the angle whose measure is greater than 0 but less than 90. It is called an acute angle. It's called an acute angle. I'll give you an example once again. See, here it is alphabet V. You can see the angle here, it is less than 90. It will always be less than 90. So it is an acute angle. Got it? Or you are having a slice of a pizza. Right? Slice of pizza here. It is an acute angle. Got it, boys? So what is an acute angle? It's an angle that measures greater than 0 and less than 90 degree. It shouldn't be 90. It should be less than 90. Then it's named as acute angle. It's named as acute angle. Shabash. Chaliye beta. Moving to next. The next is obtuse angle. An angle with a measure greater than 90 but less than 180. Again, it's greater than 90. That means not 90. Greater than 90. Greater than 90 but less than 180. Less than 180 degree. So this angle can be 91 degree, 92 degree, 100 degree, up to 179 degree, not 180. Less than 180, that means up to 179 degree. So this type of angle is called as obtuse angle. It is called as obtuse angle. Got it, boys? Let's explain this obtuse angle using an example. Once again, I will make a clock here. Here it is 12, here 6, 3, 9, 1, 2, 4, 5, 8, 10 and 11. See, the hands of the clock at the hands of the clock at 10:15. Observe the hands of the clock at 10:15. Sawa 10 baj gaye. 10:15. Here, the angle made by the hands of the clock is an example of obtuse angle. You can easily observe here. It is an obtuse angle. Got it, boys? Is this thing clear? Okay. One more angle is there, that is straight angle. Straight angle is the angle that measures exactly 180. Exactly 180 degree. Neither less than 180 nor greater than 180. When an angle measures exactly 180, we say it's a straight angle. It's a straight angle. I'll give you an example. While having your exercises in the assembly, the PT says dress up, right? तो जब आप dress up करते हो, that time your arms make an angle of 180 degree. That is straight angle. Got it? Or when you move on a straight road, that time the road makes a straight line and that is 180 degree. Got it, boys? So the angle that is exactly 180 is straight angle. Again, angle that is exact 90, it's right angle. Angle that is exactly 180, that is straight angle. Angle that is greater than 0, but less than 90, that is what? Acute angle. Good. And the angle that is greater than 90 but less than 180. Less than 180. It's called obtuse angle. Got it, boys? Is this thing clear? Students, let us again revise this using protractor. I'll show you here the types of angles here on the protractor as well. See, if I am having an angle like this angle, you can see it measures exactly 90 degree. As you can see in the outer scale it is 90, as in the inner scale it is 90. 90 is same. So while seeing this, observing this figure, you can say this angle is equal to 90 degree. That means it is a right angle. Got it? Because it measures exactly 90 degree. Again, if the angle that is already made here, we can see the reading. The reading starts from here, 0, 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. You can see it lies between 40 and 50. Okay, so this angle, it is 45 degree. As you have already seen, it is 45 degree. That means it is less than 90. So what is this angle ABC? Which angle is this? It is an acute angle because the measurement of this angle is 45. That is less than 90. That is less than 90. So this angle ABC, it is an acute angle. Now, dear students, see, if I will make an angle here, like this, see, here, what is the measurement of the angle here? You can see this ray, you have to use the inner reading. Why? Because I have told you, if the baseline is in the right direction, you have to use the inner scale. So here, while using the inner scale, you will see here it is 130. 130. So 130 is greater than 90, isn't it? It is greater than 90. 130 is greater than 90. So what type of angle is this? This is an obtuse angle. This is an obtuse angle because its measure is 130 and 130 is greater than 90. That's why we are saying that this angle is an obtuse angle. Now, dear students, let's make another angle. As I have already told you, that a straight line is an angle of 180 degree, right? If I will make a straight line here over the protractor, look, if you will go in the right direction or left direction, you will see there the baseline is at 180. Here it makes an angle of 180 degree here. Got it, boys? See, the straight line on the protector shows 180 degree. So 180 degree is called the straight angle. So as I have earlier told you that this 180 degree exact measures, when an angle exactly measures 180, that is called straight angle. So you can easily observe the protector and see this line measures exactly 180. That is why it's called a straight line. Sorry, a straight angle. Now, my dear students, you will do the book work of this chapter yourself. It's to be done on book only, as it is the book work only. So you will do it on book yourself by using these concepts that I have taught you. It's very easy now. Just go through the video and then do the book work of this chapter yourself. Thank you. Fi amanillah.